Please look around you and notice where the exits are. To my far left, front right, and rear right. Emergency personnel are on duty to assist you should the need arise. Please be seated. Good morning. The candidates for degrees, within the view of their families and other guests, are here assembled to be recognized for having stayed the course of academic rigor in accordance with the procedures and policies of North Carolina Central University. Please join me in applauding them. I now declare our 107th commencement exercises open, and it gives me great pleasure to present to you the Chancellor of North Carolina Central University, Dr. James H. Hammonds.
Here now, in the presence of candidates for academic recognition, members of the faculty, staff, administration, student body, parents, officials, alumni, honored guests, and friends. It is a distinct pleasure to be here today as we celebrate this milestone in American higher education, the 107th North Carolina Central University Commencement. We are here to honor the achievements and promise of the members of the graduating class of 2006. I would like to welcome you to this commencement ceremony, and now Reverend Michael Page will come forward for reflections. Reverend Page.
Thank you, Chancellor Ammons, Provost Jones, members of this platform, and to the graduating class of 2006. Today marks finality of your journey here at North Carolina Central University. You have come through some very difficult times. However, you being the champion that you are, you succeeded when the odds may have been against you. Reflecting upon this major milestone, I'm reminded of several quotes today. And the first one is written by Mary Kay Ash that says that there are three types of people in this world: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what will happen. We all have a choice, and what group will you fall into? Then I understand totally that we all have also had trials, and we will also encounter obstacles that will keep you from moving forward. But it was Maya Angelou who said, "You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise." So as you prepare today to leave O'Kelly Stadium, headed for the challenges and joys that this world will bring, I'm even reminded that even just this week, hearing Professor Irvin Joyner speak, he said to stumble is not to fall, but to get up and move forward fast. So allow me to close this morning by saying that you are ready for this journey, and this journey is ready for you. Langston Hughes admonished you in his writing of his poem entitled The Dreams. It says, "Hold fast to the dreams, for if a dream die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Page. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr. Patsy B. Perry, UNC Board of Governors, Ms. Robin Render, Office of the President of the University of North Carolina, and Mrs. Kay Thomas, Vice Chair of the NCCU Board of Trustees. They would now bring greetings.
We are proud of this institution's rich history and its continuing commitment to excellence in the liberal arts, in the sciences, in business, and peace. NCCU should not be described as the, quote, poor cousin, unquote, of its wealthy neighbors. In fact, NCCU is very rich in the qualities that really matter: character, will, and fortitude. We applaud the dedicated services and outstanding contributions of Chancellor Ammons and other administrators, of the faculty, staff, and students. And class of 2006, we especially applaud your achievements, and we are happy to share today's celebration with you and your proud parents. We know that you and other students have learned valuable lessons both in your academic subjects and in your personal relationships with others. Let these lessons resonate throughout your lives. The Board of Governors salutes you on your achievements and looks forward to the contributions you will make to your university, to the state, and the nation. As you prepare to leave these hallowed halls, may this special day live in your hearts forever.
Good morning. To Chancellor Ammons, distinguished platform guests, faculty, staff, families, and students of NCCU, and on behalf of the University of North Carolina, President Erskine Bowles, and the UNC General Administration, I bring you greetings this morning. In our work with the 16 campuses of UNC, and in particular, our work with North Carolina Central University, I have the opportunity to see the impact that information technology and the internet have had on teaching and learning experience of its students and faculty. It is likely that most faculty see technology as a tool, and in some ways, it supports teaching in almost every classroom. I'm inspired as I observe these changes in the academic setting. I have personally witnessed the transformation of administrative processes and growth in online self-services on this campus as well. But what has most intrigued me are the behaviors and expectations of you, the NET generation. You're the generation of students that are referred to these days, according to leading professionals in higher education, as the group with the aptitudes, attitudes, expectations, and learning styles that reflect the environment in which they are raised, one that is decidedly different from that which existed when the faculty and administrators that they work with today were growing up. So remember, you are representatives of the NET generation. You have had access to technology and the internet for most of your lives. You have mastered and defined IMing and helped turn it into a platform for academic discussion and feedback, among a few other things. You have exploited applications like Facebook or MyPlace and brought socialization to a new level. And actually, it can be a new means for learning and engagement, both with students and faculty and the community at large. You have helped to elevate gaming as a tool for instruction. What you've actually done is you've helped shape the future for higher education in ways that you don't even realize today. But when you all look back 10 years from now, after you've gone well along your way in your careers, you will see how the net generation has helped to change the workplace and the world. So I congratulate you and your families on your achievements. Today, I have the opportunity to watch my own son walk among you as one of the marvelous graduates of the class of 2006. I say to each of you, take heart in the fact that you personally and individually are helping to change and shape the world. We ask of you, please make the best and the most of it. I wish success to you all.
Good morning. Dr. Kimbrough, Chancellor Ammons, parents, and friends of the graduating class of 2006, welcome to the best day in the life of North Carolina Central University, Commencement. On behalf of the North Carolina Central University Board of Trustees, we are thrilled to join you and congratulate the graduates on their dedicated work to fulfill the academic requirements that have brought them to this day. We thank our faculty for strengthening the minds of these young people. We commend the staff for processing their papers, creating their internet connections, and providing a listening ear. But today, we truly honor the students that have transformed themselves from fitful freshmen to sophisticated seniors, prepared to address the needs of their neighbors around the globe. Graduates, you ushered in a new decade, a new century, and a new millennium. You are the standard bearers by which the rest of this generation will be measured. Also, you graduate in the 95th year of the founding of this great university. You are the next generation bearing the torch of truth and service. As you proceed into this age of knowledge, we urge you to walk boldly and confidently into the future, because North Carolina Central University has prepared you to take the torch and lead. You will discover new cures to old ills. Those you leave behind here on the sloping hills and verdant greens will beam with pride at your successes. Along your journey, we welcome your return visits to your alma mater. If you can't come in person, please send us a check. Our continued success depends on your continued support, like the thousands of other alumni that have preceded you. Graduates, congratulations, and we will have our eyes on you.
Thank you all so much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Deandra Ramsey, President of the senior class, and Ms. Anna Owens of the Graduate Student Association.
Good morning, Chancellor Ammons, Provost Jones, Dr. Kimbrough, other distinguished platform guests, families and friends that are here, and a special salute to the graduating class of May 2006. This is a special senior class like no other. We have come from all walks of life, which has helped us to appreciate each other. From day one, as the class of 2006, we have been a force on this campus. It seems like just the other day, we were attending sortie or week of welcome, and now we're leaving the sloping hills of NCCU. I remember our freshman year when we were all living in either Eagleson, Chitley, Buildings 1 or 2, and also remembering the original Chicken Wednesdays, where we wore our best outfits just to go to the caf. Our sophomore year, when everyone was displaced throughout the Durham community because of the mold situation or the limited space on the yard, living in hotels or apartments prepared by the university. Then in our junior year, when we were really buckled down in our majors and began exploring our professional careers. And look at us now. Throughout our last year, no matter whom we've hung out with previously, we all came together, especially these last 3 weeks. Throughout these years, yes, there have been hard times, but the good times seem to outweigh the bad. As we all know, our presence here will be missed, but we leave a string of legacies. Legacy of strong academia, a legacy of enrichment in our communities, and a legacy of what it means to make your years count. Sitting amongst us are the next accountants, entrepreneurs, dentists, doctors, ambassadors, politicians, lawyers, professors, radio personalities, and even literary scholars. There's so much that awaits us in our future. Just as we did in our undergrad, we must seize the opportunities and not wait for them to come in our hands. This graduation today is not only for us, but also for those who've been our support systems throughout the years. So to our families, friends, this university, professors, and even administrative mentors, we say thank you. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for helping us to this day. And a huge thank you for the financial support. As we leave dear old NCCU and venture out into the world, we must utilize the tools that NCCU has bestowed upon us. So graduates, touch the person next to you. Take a piece of them along with a piece of NCCU. In our hands, we hold today. In our dreams, we hold tomorrow. And in our hearts, we hold each other forever. Thank you.
Good morning. I bring you greetings on behalf of the graduate and professional class of 2006. I remember 2 years ago when I decided that I would continue my education by attending North Carolina Central University. I had some personal reservations about the challenges I would face in the following years. In the last couple weeks, I have informed many family and friends that I am receiving my degree. I was greeted with grand enthusiasm. During the last weeks of taking exit exams, turning in thesis, and taking finals, I needed that extra push. It also made me think about how I got here today. I concluded that the miracle of today is not that I actually finished, but the true miracle is that I had the courage and support to begin and continue this journey until the end. So today, as I represent the graduate and professional students, I want to extend a great thanks to our parents, spouses, children, family, friends, and professors for sacrifices in which they absorbed in order for us to complete our own miracle. For we share our successes with each of you. And as we move forward into careers for further graduate study, we continue to rely upon the education we receive at North Carolina Central University. We know that graduate and professional students at NCCU have been prepared extremely well for the obstacles we will face as we strive to make contributions into our own professions. Greetings to all of you, and good luck to my classmates. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. As always, I am happy to recognize platform guests and other guests who are seated in the audience. First, I want to recognize Representative Paul Lupke of the North Carolina General Assembly. Representative Lupke. I want to thank Dr. Patsy Perry of the UNC Board of Governors and Ms. Robin Render from the Office of the President. Members of the Board of Trustees who are here with us today, our Vice Chair, I want to thank her, Kay Thomas, Trustee Renee Clark, President of the Student Government Association. Where's Renee? Oh, okay. Trustee Ed Stewart, Trustee Robert Williams, and Trustee Nancy Wyszynski. Administrators and members of the Chancellor's Cabinet, our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Beverly Washington Jones, Ms. Susan Hester, Interim Vice Chancellor for Institutional Advancement, Mr. Charles O'Doer, Vice Chancellor for Financial Affairs, Mr. Roland Gaines, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Ms. Kay Webb, Special Assistant to the Chancellor and General Counsel, Dr. Caesar Jackson, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Bajoy Sahu, Interim Dean of the School of Business, Dr. Cecilia Stepp Jones, Dean of the School of Education, Attorney Raymond Pierce, Dean of the School of Law, Dean Irene Owens, Dean of the School of Library and Information Sciences, Dr. Percy Murray, Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Tun Nayen, Interim Dean of University College, Ms. Viola Williams, representing the Shepherd Memorial Library, Dr. Freddie Parker, newly elected Chair of the Faculty Senate, Ms. Deborah Torres, Chair of the Employees Senate, Dr. Jerome Goodwin, newly appointed Registrar, and Ms. Kawanda Merritt, Ms. NCCU. Our faculty marshals are Dr. Winston Goldman and Dr. Pauletta Bracey. Other special guests who are here with us today, we have the First Lady of the University, Ms. Judy Ammons. Will all of our parents, of our graduates, will you please stand for acknowledgement? And will the spouses of our graduates please stand? And all other relatives, friends, and members of the churches. If there are other members of the UNC Board of Governors present, will you please stand? And will other elected officials at the federal, state, and local levels who are here, will you please stand for recognition? And will the members of the clergy who are here, will you please stand? Members of the clergy. Our retired faculty, staff, and administrators who are here, will you please stand? And our current faculty, the distinguished faculty of NCCU, will you please stand? The faculty. Thank you. Thank you. And will we have members of the staff and administration who are here, who are not on the stage? Will you please stand? and all of the colleagues of the graduating class of 2006, the students of NCCU who are here to support them, will you please stand? Also this weekend, we're extremely happy to have the alumni, the National Alumni Association, our officers, our presidents of our chapters. Will you please stand? Members of the alumni. We also have with us today members of Dr. Walter Brown's family. His daughters are here, Judith Denise Brown and Jacqueline Diane Brown, and family friend, Mrs. Carol Bond. And I would also like to recognize Lieutenant Colonel Roth of the U.S. Air Force, who is also here with us on the dais. Thank you. Thank you very much. And the class of 2006, we're going to recognize you in a few minutes, okay? But first, we're going to have a selection by the University Choir, a jubilant song. Thank you, Professor Wilson and the University Choir for that outstanding selection. It gives me great pleasure this morning and really an honor to introduce our speaker for this morning, Dr. Dennis P. Kimbrough, noted author and scholar who focuses on leadership, excellence, and achievement, a tireless educator, public speaker, and business consultant. Dr. Kimbrough has made television appearances ranging from NBC Today's Show and CNN's Larry King Live to a PBS special. He has been featured on the pages of the Wall Street Journal, USA Today, the New York Times, the Los Angeles Times, as well as Newsday and Ebony magazine. Dr. Kimbrough conducted many interviews with America's most outstanding African American achievers to find out what it takes to be successful. He studied the methodology of Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, and his development of a survey for use among high-achieving African Americans. His research came to the attention of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, who commissioned him to update and complete Hill's original manuscript. Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, is a result of Dr. Kimbrough and Hill's efforts. Dr. Kimbrough is listed in Who's Who in Black America, a recipient of the Dale Carnegie Achievement Award, and is past director of the Center of Entrepreneurship at Clark Atlanta University. Dr. Kimbrough received his bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of Oklahoma and a doctorate from Northwestern University, where he studied wealth and poverty among underdeveloped countries. He lives in Atlanta with his wife, Patricia, and their 3 daughters, Kelly, Kimberly, and Mackenzie. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Dr. Dennis P. Kimbrough.
Sloping hills, the verdant green. Class of 2006, North Carolina Central University. In the words of that old Negro philosopher known as Flavor Flav, let's get this party started right. May 13th is entitled, Are You Trying to Hustle Me? The quote is from Jake Simmons, the famed oil industrialist, who wrote, 1/10 of the folks run the world, 1/10 watch them run it, and the other 80% don't know what the hell's going on. Charles Clinton Spaulding, a super salesman and founder of North Carolina Mutual Insurance Company, was asked what it takes to get to the top. The same thing it takes to succeed in any undertaking, he replied, hard work and determination. But most important, class of 2006, you gotta hustle. Those who make things happen, they all share this quality, no matter how intelligent or able-bodied you may be. If you don't have a sense of urgency and the need to exploit your potential, you will fall short of the mark. But what is hustle? Hustle is doing something everyone else is certain cannot be done. Hustle is getting the sale because you got there first or hung on after others gave up. Hustle is burning the midnight oil, it's blood, sweat, and tears. Hustle is missing lunch. Hustle is getting the customer to say yes after he or she said no. Hustle is believing in yourself when no one else will. Hustle is winning and encouraging others to win. Hustle is heaven if you're a hustler and hell if you're not. Hustle is the only way in which you will reach your goals and objectives. Come to the edge, he said. He said, we are afraid. Come to the edge, he said. They came, he pushed them, and they flew. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you. I bring you greetings from my school. You could have selected anybody for this great, anybody, but you selected me. I bring you greetings from Clark Atlanta University School of Business. For those of you who haven't heard about my institution, on one side, Morehouse College, on the other side, Spelman, but I can say with all humility and pride, down our halls walk some of the sharpest business students in the country. Good morning to the graduates, to the family and friends, and special thanks to Chancellor Ammons and his fine team. Thank you for inviting me to this most special occasion to address North Carolina Central University's graduating class of 2006. And graduates, always remember, over the course of your life, you'll experience more birthdays than you care to count, a slew of Christmas Eves and New Year's Eves, and too many 4th of July picnics. But you will only experience one college graduation, and baby, this is it. To Chancellor Ammons and his fine faculty, administration, and staff, as I look from where I am standing, job well done. And to the parents, congratulations are also in order for you. And I can say this as the father of 3 daughters, all college graduates. My heart goes out to you parents. I know about the sacrifices and the prayers and the money and the encouragement, and if your children are like mine, the threats. And my heart and mind goes back to 10 years ago when my middle daughter graduated from the University of Oklahoma. And if anybody has been out in Norman, Oklahoma, during May, late spring, as we say in slave days, it can be powerful hot. And I did everything in my power to sit in my seat and watch that child go across the stage and receive her degree. And after she walked across the stage, I said, well, this is a good time for me to get out of here, exit side door right, go in the parking lot, sit in the rent-a-car, cut the AC on, and dry my soaking wet shirt. While I'm seated in the car, guess who comes running out to me with degree in hand? My middle daughter. And she says, Dad, now that I've graduated from college, what you gonna get me for graduation? I said, well, baby, sweetheart, that's easy. I'm gonna give you 3 things. Number 1, I'm gonna give you some advice. Keep your nose clean, put your trust in the Lord, and you can't help but to succeed. I said, number 2, I'm gonna give you a copy of each of my 4 books. Yeah, you know where I interview scores of black achievers. What I want you to do, darling, I want you to take these same traits, keys, qualities that these achievers use, apply them in your life, and that'll put you on the fast track. She said, what you gonna get me for number 3? I said, girl, I'm gonna give you something that you haven't had at this point in your life. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to experience life head on, full blast. I'm gonna give you the chance to really test your skills and potential. So beginning right now, this hour, this minute, this moment, this second, your mother and I are officially cutting you loose. Oh yeah, we officially cutting you loose, baby. And for that class of 2006, my middle daughter called me a player. I said, a player hater? I said, what's that? She said, forget it, Dad, you're too old. I said, well, if I'm a player hater, you're like Johnny. She said, who in the world is Johnny? I said, girl, you know who Johnny is? She said, no, I don't know anything about Johnny. I said, you don't know the story of Johnny? 6:30 in the morning, mother yells up the steps, Johnny, get up, it's time to go to school. No answer. She walks up the 13 steps, goes to her son's bedroom door, knocks on the door, no answer. She opens up the door, and what does she see? She sees her son lying in bed. She goes over and she nudges him. She said, boy, if you don't get up out of that bed, you're going to be late for school. Johnny rolls over, looks at his mother and said, Mom, why in the world did you wake me up this morning? I'm not going to school. She said, nonsense, I won't hear anything about it. He says, no, really, I can't stand that school. Yesterday I was walking down the hall and some of the teachers pointed their fingers at me, and last week I overheard some of the students talking about me behind my back. I can't stand that school. Nobody likes me, and I don't like that school. She said, boy, if you don't get up out of that bed, you're going to be late for school. He said, Mom, why in the world do you want to send me through all the pain, torture, and torment of going to school? She said, number one, you're 42 years old. And number two, you're the principal. As you can see, graduates, in all honesty and sincerity, it's time for us to fly. One day, while walking the hallowed grounds of Durham State Normal School, James E. Shepard encountered a young student who was overrun with the thoughts of attending his fine school. And after surveying what could be called a campus at that time, the young man approached this great leader and asked with a tinge of doubt in his voice, do you believe me capable of graduating from your fine school? I don't know, Dr. Shepard replied, looking the young boy straight in the eye. That's only up to you. Only you and you only can answer that question. And then, as only this paragon of excellence could, he began to probe the young man, searching for any traces of greatness. He asked, do you long for an education? Can you live like a hermit and work like a horse? Will you rise at 4 and study till 10, long after others have retired? Will you black boots during the day and quote Latin at night? Do you love learning enough to walk 10 miles to borrow a book you cannot afford to buy? Have you the stamina to go on with your studies when you're too poor to buy bread? Is 5 years or 10 years amid want and woe too long to spend perfecting your craft? Furthermore, he went on to ask, have you the courage of Nat Turner, who laughed in the face of death? Have you the unconquerable will of Harriet Tubman, who said with every fiber of her body, thou shalt be free? Have you the audacity of Hannibal, who crossed the Alps 1,000 years ahead of Napoleon? Will you pay the price, he asked this young man. How much can you endure? You see, Dr. Shepard continued, God has placed the highest price upon the greatest worth. So many of you long for the victory, but shrink from the fight. If a man or woman would reach the highest success, he or she must pay the price himself, herself. High living is worth low living. A man or woman must be self-made before they are ever made. You see, Dr. Shepard was hoping to expose the young boy to his own sense of greatness. In short, he gave my message today as I conclude this little feeble remark. He wanted to know what makes the great great. You see, when I got my fancy PhD degree from Northwestern University, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I certainly knew what I didn't want to do. I don't want to be like many of my colleagues. They ran off to Washington, D.C., State Department, Wall Street. I'm not knocking that. That wasn't for me. I did go the corporate route. Right after school, undergrad, Texas Instruments, from there, Smith, Klein, and French. I didn't want to be like many of my colleagues who, wanted to work for one of the federal administrations. I'm not knocking that. That wasn't for me. And ironically, I didn't even want to teach. And that's what I do now, and I'm completely fulfilled by it. After all, what do you do with those 3 letters, PhD, at the end of your name? And that's what I do now. All I wanted to do, graduates, I wanted to find the answers to 2 questions. Question number 1, why does one person succeed while another fails? And question number 2, why is one individual rich and wealthy while another is impoverished? In short, I wanted to find out what makes the great great. And I carved out a list of 50 individuals. They didn't know me, but I certainly knew them, that I was going to meet and interview at point blank range. Well, that list grew from 50 to 100, from 100 to 150. I quit counting at 150 interviews. You name them, I probably interviewed them. Everybody from Condoleezza Rice to T.D. Jakes. And I dared to ask the question, what makes the great, great? I asked Percy Sutton, owner of the Apollo Theater and Malcolm X's personal attorney. I said, Mr. Sutton, please give me the answer. He says, if you have but one wish, let it be for an idea. I interviewed Bob Johnson, BET Television. He says, life is a grindstone, but whether it grinds you down or polishes you up, depends on what you are made of. What makes the great, great? I interviewed Mae Jemison, first black woman in outer space. And I said, my God, Dr. Jemison, a physician and an astronaut too, when did you get this idea? She said, I knew exactly what I want to be since age 8. I said, well, please give me the answer. She said, you can find it in the word lifestyle. Life is God's gift to you. Style is what you do with it. What makes the great, great? I went to Cleveland, Ohio, and I spent a day with Don King, the fight promoter. And I told Don King what Mae Jemison told me. I said, is that true? The answer to greatness is in lifestyle? He took a step back, stroked his face, and he said, look for it in the word enthusiasm. I said, enthusiasm, is that it? He said, yeah, if you set yourself on fire, the world will come see you burn. What makes the great, great? I interviewed Bea Smith, the couture model. Maybe you see her show. She's trying to be the black Martha Stewart. She comes on her cable show on Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia. I said, please, Bea, give me the answer. She says, I don't care what you do, but whatever you do, do it with style. I interviewed Janetta Cole right here, Bennett College in North Carolina, when she was president of Spelman. I said, Dr. Cole, please give me the answer. She said, show me somebody content with mediocrity, and I'll show you somebody destined to fail. What makes the great, great? I interviewed Jesse Jackson. I said, Jesse, no cute saying, just give me the real deal, my brother. Just give me the 411 on greatness. He said, you may not be responsible for getting knocked down, but you're certainly responsible for getting back up. What makes the great, great? I interviewed Joe Clark. You probably saw the movie Lean on Me. And I said, Joe, I said, any regrets? He said, regrets about what? I know when you put those 100, 200 students on the right there on the risers on the stage before you threw them out your school. He said, hell no. He said, no one ever talked about the faculty and administrators I had to show the door, but I was hired to do a job. And no one was going to stand between me and my goals and objectives. I remember Eastside High when I sat in these chairs, and my job was to restore the splendor. What makes the great, great? Students, class of 2006, I remember it as if it were yesterday when I went to Washington, D.C. And I interviewed Ron Brown, Secretary of Commerce, before his tragic flight. And I walked into his office, and his administrative assistant says, young man, have a seat. The secretary will be out with you in a second. And I'm fumbling through my notes, and bam, here he comes, 6'3", 200 pounds, not an ounce of body fat, looked like he just stepped off the pages of GQ magazine. And he extends his arm out to mine. He says, young man, what can I do for you? I said, Mr. Secretary, can we talk about achievement? Can we talk about success? How about leadership? And when I said leadership, he lit up like a Christmas tree. He says, leadership, now that's something I know a little bit about. There's only 2 requirements of leadership. Number 1, the price of leadership is always loneliness. And number 2, you can never be concerned what other people think, say, or do. What makes the great, great? Yeah, I spent time with Kwame Jackson, the original apprentice. And I asked him, I said, boy, Kwame, that's pretty impressive. Undergrad, UNC Chapel Hill, Harvard Business School. I said, what was it like to go to Harvard? He said, I remember when I had dinner that first Sunday, when I walked into class the next day and I met my cohort and I had my cases, a Harvard Business School professor got up in my face the first class. And he said, you got the rest of your life to be average, but for the next 2 years, you will pursue excellence. What makes the great, great? Well, I can stand up here and give you sound bites from all the individuals. And I remember when I was in his office right there at the Potter's House, Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I said, Bishop, I'm a big boy, please give me the answer. He said, you can run out of time, you can run out of friends, you can run out of family, you can run out of resources, but don't you ever run out of God. What makes the great, great? It is a sense of destiny. And before I take my seat, I gotta tell you, when you go on in life and you try to achieve your sense of destiny, never forget, class of 2006, basketball is a mental game. Dr. Kimbrough, what in the world are you doing? No, basketball is a mental game. You see, I didn't get a chance to interview Michael Jordan. I tried my best. But Michael Jordan's personal attorney called me up and he said, you can forget about interviewing Jordan. This is basketball season. Listen, I'm his attorney. I handle all his money and I can't even reach him half the time. But you come to New York, I'll take you to the best restaurant, your choice. No one knows Michael Jordan better than me. I can answer any question. He's my #1 client that you might have about Jordan. So I fly to New York, takes me to a swanky restaurant. I'm seated in the back, and he tells me the following. He said, well, Michael Jordan played basketball for UNC. He played for Dean Smith. And Dean Smith had one rule. You know what that rule was, class of 2006? There was no dunking. You couldn't dunk in practice. And one day, Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, James Worthy, they all marched into Dean Smith's office. And they said, Coach, how come we can't dunk? After all, this is practice. We're only having fun. You got all these McDonald's All-Americans. Come on, it's only practice. Let us dunk. And Dean Smith replies, class 2006, he said, the reason why I won't let you dunk is because basketball is a mental game. I don't ever want you to be physically challenged or not up to the task because you weren't mentally capable. Well, coming down the home stretch, Michael Jordan is now playing basketball for the Chicago Bulls. And one summer, Doug Collins, his current coach, is fired, and now Phil Jackson is his new coach. And before the season starts, Phil Jackson goes around and formally introduces himself to every member on that team that summer. And he goes to the suburbs of Chicago, knocks on the door of Michael and Juanita Jordan. They open up the door and he introduces himself. He says, I'm Phil Jackson, I'm your new coach, looking forward to coaching. I think we're going to have a good season. Michael Jordan says, what do you got under your arm? He says, oh, these 5 books? He says, I just brought them, I just want you, it's your choice, just read one of the 5 books. And Jordan replies, why in the world should I read one of those books? And Phil Jackson says, because basketball is a mental game. I don't ever want us to be physically or mentally challenged because we weren't. He says, you sound like my old college coach, Dean Smith. And they would go to practice one day. And there they were for 2 and 3 hours of practice. And all the players would say to Phil Jackson, Coach, what are we going to work on today? We're going to work on our ball handling. We're going to work on our 3-point shot. How about our rebounding? How about our defense? And Phil Jackson says, we're not going to work on any of those. Today we're going to work on the New York Times crossword puzzle. And he gave every member on that team a copy of the New York Times crossword puzzle and told them to complete it within 2 hours. Well, Phil Jackson, 6 championship rings later, he's on a local talk show, and the talk show host in Chicago asked him, he says, when did you know that you and Michael Jordan were playing off the same sheet of music? When did you know that you and your star were of one mind? And Phil Jackson replies, I'll never forget, we were at an airport catching a plane to go to another city to play another game, and I saw Michael in the corner all by himself. He did not want to be interrupted. Why? Because he was completing a New York Times crossword puzzle. It takes 17 years to drive, 18 years to vote, 21 years to be classified as an adult, 35 years to run for Congress, 42 to qualify to run for president, 65 years to retire, but a lifetime class of 2006 to achieve greatness. Somebody said it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say till he tried. So he buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face. If he worried he'd hit it, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it. But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we know, he begun it with a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quitting. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands that tell you could not be done. There are thousands of prophecy failure. There are thousands ready to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But with a lift of your chin and a bit of your grin, you just take off your coat and go to it. You started to sing as you tackle the thing. Spit in his face, I'll show you Marcus Garvey. Slam the school door in the face, you becomes Mary McLeod Bethune. Write him off as another fatherless black male, I'll show you Ben Carson. Make him shine your shoes, and he becomes James Brown. Disobey his orders, he becomes Fulton Powell. Blind him, he becomes Stevie Wonder. Rape her, I'll show you Maya Angelou. Put her in a wheelchair, she becomes Barbara Jordan. Tell her she can't write, she becomes Toni Morrison. Tell her she can't lead, she becomes Janetta Cole. and tell him, man, you're going to start a school, you're going to call it Durham North, and then it's going to become North Carolina. Where are you going to get the resources from? Who's going to back you? And he becomes Dr. James E. Shepard. You walk tall. You walk tall. I'm out of here.
Dr. Kimbrough, on behalf of the graduating class of 2006 and the entire NCCU community, thank you for that powerful message this morning. And now, would you join me at the podium?
Whoa.
In recognition of delivering this powerful message this morning, for the 2006 spring commencement, I want to present to you, Dr. Kimbrough, the Chancellor's Award, North Carolina Central University's Chancellor's Award, presented to Dr. Dennis P. Kimbrough, noted author, educator, public speaker, and business consultant, for serving as speaker during this 2006 commencement ceremony, presented this 6th day of May, 2006. Thank you. Thank you. And now we will have recognition of teaching awards. Will Associate Professor Veronica Nwosu please stand? Professor Nwosu was awarded the Board of Governors Award for Excellence in Teaching. She is an associate professor in the NCCU Department of Biology, and next week she will be presented her award by the Board of Governors. Thank you, Dr. Nwosu. Will the recipients of the NCCU Faculty Awards for Teaching Excellence please come forward? I would like to present you with a check for $2,500 and a plaque. Coming to the podium to receive the award for Dr. Sylvia Jacobs is Dr. Carlton Wilson, Chair of the Department of History, Dr. Patricia Wigfall, Professor in the Department of Public Administration, and Dr. Jim C. Harper II, Assistant Professor in the Department of History.
Congratulations, Doc.
You gotta give it Dr. Jacobs on that. All right, congratulations to our faculty for their excellence in teaching. And now I am honored to present 2 Student Leadership Awards. One to Ms. Renee Clark, President of the Student Government Association, and to Ms. Kawanda Merritt, Ms. NCCU. Will you please come forward? The Leadership Awards read, North Carolina Central University Student Leadership Award, presented to Renee Clark and Kawanda Merritt Renee, President of the North Carolina Central University Student Government Association, presented this 6th day of May, 2006. And Kawanda. At this time, we wish to recognize two families by presenting them with the Chancellor's Award for having had 3 or more children to graduate from North Carolina Central University. Will Mr. Asalabi Banjiko please come to the podium? Mr. Banjiko had 3 children to graduate. Olabakola Banjiko, BS 2005. Funaleo Banjiko, bachelor's in 2005. And Madupe Banjiko, bachelor's 2006. And we will present this to Mrs. Banjiko. Ms. Banjiko was accompanied by her aunt. Will Mrs. Virginia Dare Lindsay please come to the podium? Ms. Lindsay had 3 children to graduate from NCCU. Pebble Lindsay Lucas, 1982 bachelor's, and also a bachelor's in 1994. Ronnie Lindsay, bachelor's in 1988. And Avita Lindsay is graduating today. Avita, where are you? Oh, there she is. Ms. Virginia Dare Lindsay, congratulations and thank you for your inspiration and motivation that you gave to your children in their quest for educational accomplishments, while instilling in them the high qualities that culminated in 3 graduating from NCCU. Congratulations. And now we will have a selection by the University Band under direction of Mr. Joram Reed, Sweet Love. Thank you, Joram and the university band. All students who are graduating with honors will now be recognized. Will our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Beverly Washington Jones, please come forward? You have
Good morning. Before I begin, if you have a cell phone or pager, please silence it by cutting it off. All cell phones, pagers, please make sure we turn those off. Will all students graduate with honors please stand? North Carolina Central University is proud to congratulate all of its graduates and to offer gratitude to all who have made this day a momentous occasion for them. We pause now to especially recognize those students who have excelled academically, placing them in a special classification of honor students. To you, honor students, we say thanks for your high academic achievement. We celebrate that achievement as yet another means to inspire those who follow you to fulfill the essential purpose of higher education. From its beginning as the National Religious Training School in Chautauqua, this institution has grown tremendously, but is held to its primary mission of academic excellence and education for service. It is your good fortune to be here today, to be beneficiaries of a legacy of vision, sacrifice, and achievement. Again, congratulations on your outstanding academic performance, and may you continue to soar with eagles, for no one can predict what heights you can and will soar. You may be seated. Thank you.
Graduate and professional degrees will now be conferred. Dr. Beverly Washington Jones, our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs.
Chancellor Ammons, it is my pleasure to report to you that the candidates here assembled have qualified in all respects for degrees by successfully completing curricula offered by several graduate and professional schools of North Carolina Central University, and have been certified by the registrar and commended by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to be awarded the appropriate graduate degrees. Would the summa cum laude candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Public Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Library Science, Master of Information Sciences, and Juris Doctorate, please stand and remain standing. With the magna cum laude candidates in those same degree programs, stand and remain standing. With the cum laude candidates in those same degree programs, stand and remain standing. Would all other candidates for the same degree programs please stand and remain standing? Chancellor Ammons, it is my pleasure that I present to you these candidates who have successfully completed all the requirements for graduation in their respective academic programs. They have been certified by the registrar, approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees, and are now commended to you for the conferral of graduate degrees, Master of Arts, Master of Science, Master of Public Administration, Master of Business Administration, Master of Education, Master of Library Science, Master of Information Science, and Juris Doctorate.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the North Carolina Central University Board of Trustees, the University of North Carolina Board of Governors, I do hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have qualified, with all of the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Before I introduce the Dean of Graduate Studies, I would like to offer special thanks to Dr. Bijoy Sahu, the interim dean of the School of Business, to the School of Business faculty, staff, and students for regaining accreditation. Let us all give them an applause. Now it is my deep pleasure to introduce Dr. Percy Murray, Dean of Graduate Studies.
Good morning. Dr. Cecil Jackson, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Bijoy Sahu, Interim Dean of the School of Business, Dr. Cecilia Stepp Jones, Dean of the School of Education, Dr. Irene Owens, Dean of the School of Library and Information Sciences, Attorney Raymond Pierce, Dean of the School of Law, will announce the candidates for graduation for the graduate and professional degrees in their respective colleges and schools. These candidates will be hooded by Dr. Bernice Johnson and Dr. Carlton Wilson.
Will the candidates for the Master of Arts, the Master of Public Administration, and the Master of Science please stand and move to the platform?
Anna M. Owens. Natasha L. Sessoms, Cynthia Adams Mangum, Tanika C. McMillan, Tracy H. Burns Van, Jarvis L. Hargrove, Jamita A. Davis, Willie Lee Woodard, Kamala McDougall, Ramisha Jones, Kristen K. Bowen, Melanie R. Collins, Amanda J. Burgess, Indira M. Bell, Travis L. Tolliver, David F. Nicholson, Spanacia D. Sprangley, Rita V. Collins, Rachel D. Robinson, Najiri Whitworth, Sonia Fox, Darren B. Scott, Christian N. Starnes, Jabari S. Walker, Kendra Malsby Mudd, LaShann Benston, Arit Amana, Georgette M. Curry, Pauline E. High, Adrian J. Hairston, Emma E. Tuma, Tammy Haskell, Ahmad Al Omari, Honest Maringa, Lakia C. Jones, Kimberly Ann Gant, Temperance Truitt Toby, Tashia L. Colmer, Douglas M. Garland,
Congratulations. Please be seated.
Will the candidates for the Master of Business Administration please stand and move to the platform?
Joy Johnson, Tedrick L. Kelly, Natalie Mills, Latoya S. Woody, Julian McCauley, Delicia Matthews, Melissa Marimbe, Thomas Adrian Taylor II, Thomas Edwards, Serena N. Williams, Charles A. Malala, Yang O. Yang,
Hello. Chancellor Ammons, the candidates for the Master of Arts, the Master of Arts in Teaching, the Master of Education, and the Master of Arts in School Administration have moved to the podium. Thank you. Dr. Diane Scott will call the names.
Melissa Blackman, Mitchell Irving, Tihab Baker, Gautam Mahapatra, Jamono Nolan, Shanika Worthy, Vanessa Funderburk, Natalie Thorpe, Paula Borden, Cornelius Redfern, Malcolm Farr, Michelle Smith, Troy Thacker, Carl Waden, Troya Boykin, Michael Williams, Sheila Washington Callis, Lori Lawrence, Marjon Ford, Chandra Clay, Sweet Flake, Rosalind Brunson, Sandra Guthrie, Jacqueline Britt, Francis Williams, Tanya Jackson, Sharon Cannon, Susan Hirschberger, Katie Gant, Tiffany Teal, Myrtle Satterwhite, Priscilla Chavis Lockley, Byalina Shakir Burgess, Shantae Wright, Thelma Gaz, Maria Angelica de Vega, Nicole Jimerson, Winsome Andrews, Nancy DiCiaccio, Nicole Sproul, Paula Hamilton, Siobhan Cowie, Emily Powell, Ashley Butler, Tiffany Tu, Marcy Liu, Jolitha Leathers, Melissa Davis, Icon Mason, Ronnie Jeter,
Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning. Will the candidates for the degrees Master of Library Science and Master of Information Science please move to the podium?
Oscar Andre Lacayo Jr., Carmar Beckwith Wade, Carla Letice Payne, Sophia Elaine Harrison, Adedayo T. Ashiru, Adarimi Ladajobi, Augustine E. Namian, Angela Briggs, Nicole Campbell, Belton Taylor Jr., Christine Patricia Bela-Patrick, Betty C. Vincent, Mary Virginia Holler, Lisa A. Dempson, Calvin T. Lockhart, Shavella Louise Thomas, Raymond Philip Thomas, Jasmine B. McCoy, Shantae Coleman, Akon Ita Ekanem, Thomas Edwards, and Gregory Lee Battle.
Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated.
Good morning. Will the candidates for the Juris Doctorate please approach the podium?
Kelly N. Burgess, William J. Wickward, Matthew Joseph Sullivan, Nancy Ann Mayer, Jennifer Lynn Jones, Aisha R. Hassan, Alice Pilgrim Bradney, Matthew Royce Myers, Lynn Prathard, James Harris Monroe, Nita P. Asher, Janine C. Pino, Myra P. Ware, Daniel F. Albert, Chauncey A. Malone, Ronnie B. Waterson, Patrick Dole Loader, Helen L. Parsonage, Stephen B. Walker, James P. Hoffman, Stephen K. Griffin, Casey Nicole Harden, Sasha L. Coswell, Michelle L. Salter, Jeffrey Witterson, Calvin C. Craig, Julie Denise Hall, Shelley Maxwell Bayer, Kalia A. Fry, Mitzi Y. Kincaid, Eric B. Shope, Karen S. Schuler, Lisa A. Kamarchek, Amanda Lee Maris, Jennifer A. Lupke, Susan L. Getches, Ruth Ingram Bradshaw, David W. Andrews, Anna T. Wood, Ben A. Brewington, Keisha Nicole Council, Reginald D. O'Rourke, Melissa L. Croson, Janelle D. Allen, Bahia Abdul Wakil, Alicia M. Ritza, Jonathan E. James, Anithia A. Gillis, Dania J. King, Alicia Ann Grunenbaum, Stephanie Y. Barbie, Serena Nicole Williams, Verl Chessenport, Carolyn T. Pemberton, Philip H. Cowan, Justin B. Green, Claire Marie Whittle, L. Martin Taylor, Jacob Robert Stearns, Robert B. Klunginger, Michael Shane Truitt, Britton Helms Allen, Esteban A. Echeverra, Tin T. Nguyen, Nicole Ashley Murphy, Allison J. Young, Renee M. Williamson, Rosa Marie Matusik, Kahende A. Watford, Angeli N. Harris, Chrissia A. Thompson, Rosalind L. Sellers, Shamika Felicia Battle, Meredith Rebecca Presley, LaDonna M. Williams, Marissa L. Curry, Laura Christine Manfredi, Jennifer M. Gray, Jennifer Hedgecock Sanders, Florence M. Dopakovic, Alicia M. Vick, Sonel Y. Shaw, Christina McAlpin, Jennifer Susan Blue, Nicole Baxter Feaster, Sherry C. Hale, Letitia D. Smith, Wendy Denise Smallwood, Phoebe Annette Clark, Stephanie J. Pugh. Jennifer Y. Wilson. Sharon Lynn Stelello. Rebecca J. Stremo. Nathan A. Baskerville. David Aquino. Charles A. Malela. Ashley Nicole McDuffie. Jaleel Williams Moore. LaToya Yvette Crosby. Tanisha Nicole Clemens. Brian Dean Phillips. Alexander John Gomes. Leighton Carter Thompson. Jordan Lawrence Rice. Idrissa A. Smith. Shannon T. Reed.
Please be seated.
All right, Dean. Congratulations on the first class.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning. I would like to personally congratulate Cadet Charles Dobson on a fantastic performance during his tenure at Air Force ROTC. After his commissioning today, he will become a communications officer and will be stationed at Mildenhall Air Base in England. I would also like to thank Cadet Dobson's family, friends, for their love and support during his training. He could not have done it without you. Please step forward. Attention. Morning. Raise your right hand. Let's go. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Charles Dobson.
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force.
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force.
Do solemnly affirm.
Do solemnly affirm.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully.
And that I will well and faithfully.
Discharge the duties of the office.
Discharge the duties of the office.
Which I'm about to enter.
Which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Dobson. Let's go sign some papers.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Good luck to you. Godspeed. Will our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Beverly Washington Jones, please come forward?
Will the summa cum laude candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science in Human Sciences, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Arts degree in Elementary Education and Middle Grades Education, Bachelors of Business Administration, please stand and remain standing. Would the magna cum laude candidates in those same disciplines please stand and remain standing? the cum laude candidates in the same disciplines stand and remain standing. Would all other candidates for the same degrees please stand and remain standing? Chancellor Ammons, it is with pleasure that I present to you these candidates who have successfully completed all the requirements for graduation in their respective undergraduate academic programs.
Upon the recommendation of the undergraduate faculty of the respective schools and college of the university, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the NCCU Board of Trustees and the University of North Carolina Board of Governors, I do hereby confer upon each of you the degree for which you have qualified, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. Okay, please be seated.
The associate deans or designated persons will call the names of candidates for baccalaureate degrees.
Will the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science in Human Sciences, Bachelor of Nursing, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Art in Social Work, and Bachelor of Music in the College of Arts and Sciences, please stand and come forward.
Mary Elizabeth McLean. Rachel Marie Mixon. Molly M. Biek. Tracy J. Mosley. Jacqueline Lopez. Danita L. Burnett. Jared Wallace Pierce. Edith M. Crawley Kearns. Christy J. Williamson. Crystal English James. Janina Lashley. Shelley Denise Reeves. Danielle L. Richmond. Tiana S. Robinson. Kawanda D. Merritt. Sharia N. Rucker. Kimberly L. Evans. Barbara A. Fields. Angela N. Hale. Tasha L. Bayard. Betty Celeste Flowers. Deandra S. Ramsey. Shanita S. A. Williams. Angeline Sarashana. Kimberly N. Spruill. Precious M. Monroe. Janice Elizabeth Pete. Sonia P. Stroud. Coyote Jagetti. Crystal L. Hayes. Anicia S. Holmes. Michael W. Putney. Shannon N. Morgan. Adam S. Keith. Sherelle M. Bruton. Sean Ramon Cunningham. Brilliant Antonio Wilson. Ryan R. Green. Kimberly J. Patrick. Kimberly J. Carlton. Anthony R. Pierce. Shauna N. Hines. Tony A. McDonald. Elroy P. Allen. Natasha D. Forney. Shauna M. Mitchell. Jamie D. Bennett. Corey B. Patterson. Jonathan S. Patton. Latoya Chanel Walters. Daryl L. Coleman. Marquita S. Hill. Marcus L. Robinson. Lisa Y. Newman. Melissa D. Scott. Mako Fula Fula. Julia Johnson. Agu Anuma. Billy D. Bryant Jr. Courtney A. Carr. Shannon Shantae Hill. Akia S. West. Laverne M. Ellis. Quintina M. Thomas. Aaron Andrew Williamson. Alukimi Omotoyinko Bo. Carolyn Renee McGill. Gareth N. Fan. Carla Aaron Lopez. Lamar C. Thorpe. Stephen L. Hayes. Marquita R. Pope. Reginald I. Mitchell. Kristen A. Scales. Carlos Rawlinson. Brian A. Mitchell. Jessica E. Nobles. Jody N. Tawia. Anthony J. Robinson. Justin Bo Rothman. Jamnell Dawit Fields. Barry Leandris Parker. Lashandra Chambers. Michael Render. Tochukwu TC Anochokia. Sharika S. Mobley. Selena M. Weeks. Jerica L. McLaren. Jamie N. Logan. Pierre Batchelor. Donald Parker. Dania Janine Hall. Bernard M. McCain. Maggie N. Holly. Sashia P. Moore. Gregory L. Niles. Michael Simpson. Travis C. Speller. Tracy M. Gill. Quentin Keith. Alan L. Hunt. Jamie C. Rory. Shauna M. Monroe. Tyler S. Thompson. Trevor L. Coley. Ayana S. Ashman. Carla D. Ray. Denisha D. Edwards. Stephanie L. Carr. Hafiz E. Stokes. Bernice M. Alston. Jennifer M. Sanders. Abasade O. Copeland. Naya L. Davis. Shira E. Reese. Jemiah S. Green. Ashley N. Ingram. Shamel M. Smith. Dietrich J. Branch. Tanya Pauling. Cherie Yvette Wilson. Ambrosia Spalding. Capricia B. Burris. Sherman McCrae. Timothy E. Martin. Michelle K. Crumpler. Wilburn C. Ozogil. Marcus A. Spellman. Othay A. Fisher. Portia Y. Jones. Akila N. Moore. Kienti Sakila Faison. April D. Fleming McKinney. Shaquanda D. Davis. Sharis D. Martin. Menagerie C. Foy. Muriel C. Johnson. Santana Marcia Saunders. Diane L. Gaston. Dante Barnes Armstrong. Crystal L. Trice. Ella V. Bailey. Nicole R. Carter. Nate A. Hayes. Travetta A. Smith. Cynthia J. Pierce. Jean Nicole Stevens. Deanna Shanice Brown. Angie M. Williams. Bankane J. Mokwa. Patricia Deanne Oliver. Whitney L. Hibbets. LaShandra D. Baycote. Journey L. Hammonds. Tiffany Nicole Kimbrough. Natasha Cherie Miller. Sherry M. Queen. Ashley M. Moore. Quincy D. Tate. LaMonica D. Hamilton. Lawrence T. McPhail. Tashika Chanel Pearson. Arjun Nicastro. Virginia Austin Bass. Shirley P. Thomas. McLonda P. Williams. Cecilia L. Patterson. Tika L. Cooper. Erica Monique Giles. Alicia Lanier. Shannon N. Dixon. Portia Brooks. Amber Gray. Tiffany L. Sneed. Donna L. Lipscomb. Mashenka A. McMillan. Deontay Alexander. Madupe Omolara Banjoko. Jemiah L. Clark. Carmen A. Douglas. Latanya T. Weston. Brian A. Rogers. Kelvin L. Powell. Frederick Ellis. Jennifer Moore. Charity Battle. Devin M. Saunders. Kendra R. Richardson. Katrina L. Smith. Craig A. Edmond. Jackie Nagy. Nini Linda Ugoake. Harvey L. Spencer Jr. Taurus A. Farrow. Andrew D. Lyons. Kevin V. Clark. Reginald C. Wilson Jr. Melissa L. O'Dane. Christopher C. Bridges. Tamika S. Hayes. Belinda J. Russell. Audrey L. Newman. Charles T. Dobson. Garland S. Freeland. Keith G. Dixon. Heather D. Sink. Deidre D. Person. Deborah Atkins. Andre J. Green. Shauna T. Edson. Lakeisha D. Lassiter. Christopher L. Allen. Crystal L. Ragland. Leslie M. Free. Deborah Dalton. Nina Holt. Donna Nicole Anderson. Brittany Nicole Watson. Tamara J. Campo. Sherry Washington. Laura D. Webb. Melanie Ann Burnett. Natisha S. White. Ayana S. Overson. Shalana M. Reed. Salamatu Soleil Taylor. Monet S. Peoples. Patricia Bernadette Johnson. Amelia D. Redden. Heavenly R. Simmons. Takoya C. Lane. Crystal Renee Bowman. Tamika L. Wilkerson. Fantasia Harris. Herbert J. McKinney. Deborah Little Mangum. Tracy R. Higgins. Shanika M. Barnett. Konyasola J. Soigben. Robin A. McCullough. Asteria J. Woods White. Minnie White. Natasha J. Ortain. Iris Jackson. Juanita Y. Byers. Jennifer Argello. Felicia N. Brown. Eva M. Penny. Larisha L. Raynor. Kimberly R. Porter. Iva D. Ward. Kenrick A. Gillespie. Braxton L. Harris. Ebony L. McCullum. Talitha S. P.A. Crystal T. Dempsey. Gramika Virginia Jones. Regina D. Haywood. Adrian Lachelle Petaway. Victor Bakari Boone. Latasha Y. Trice. Sayika R. Francis. Antoine J. Ellis. Maurini O. Jones. Helena Napu Dunbar. Kendra I. Johnson. Deidra D. Johnson. Christina Danielle Walston. Kelly N. Watson. Sharice L. Lovett. Shantae R. Bowers. Christopher R. Key. Clayton A. Green. Renata M. McCain. Marsha M. Perkins. Batista Yanette McNeil. Jonathan W. Evans. Vincent E. Johnson. Atoria M. McAllister. Tanisha M. White. LaShondra D. Terry. Melissa N. Grierson. Latisha Q. Williams. Ranisha Battle. Alicia Ely. Kayla Ely. Pauline Jenny McPhee. Amanda Yvonne Morgan. Angela Denise Culbertson. Toshia Lachey Freeman. Latanya C. Rasco. Flora D. Wilson. Stephanie M. Edmondson. Paulita Natasha Williams. Eric B. Tomlinson. Christopher Anthony Coles. Michael A. Miller. Aquari J. Robertson. Gromiko L. Walker. Garrett A. Malone. Jawan Jones. Jennifer Y. Gillespie. Charles Ray Bush. Jerome LaTroy Williams. Monica L. Rockingham. Jennifer Chaston. Tina Denise Taylor. Cheryl N. Moore. Des Chapula. Nagumale Dave Chapula. Chukwemeka C. Okizi. Toya R. Harris. Tanya R. Harris. Latasha D. Judd. Melanie Takinia Harris. Daniel Lamar Meeks. Jennifer N. Todd. Adesiji Gibade Alabi. Latoya R. McCoy. Gwendolyn C. Williams. Letitia D. Inman. Avita Lindsay. Tarasha A. Lloyd. Kelly L. Brody. Sharita L. Dobbin. Chanel L. Mays. Shannon S. Henderson. Marquita B. Gadet. Monique J. Hughes. Milas K. Young. Candace M. Spruill. Quadria Y. Moore. Christina Bailey. Tanika L. Everett Hall.
Congratulations. Please be seated.
Will the recipients of Bachelor of Business Administration and Bachelor of Science in the Business School please come forward?
Denise White. Ramesha T. Holmes. Yusuf D. Alexander. Christina Ray Stroud. Shalia M. Mitchell. Letitia Burrows. Maylene A. Abraham. Renee N. Clark. Catherine E. Mitchell. Latoya S. Townsend. Melody N. Coppage. Chandra L. Robertson. William A. Bryant. Edna A. Amolo. Gwendolyn A. Porter. Rowena E. Bass. Brenda T. Tuck. Quentin D. Dorsey. Makita D. Comer. Audrey M. Long. Okay. Shante S. White. Karen L. Coleman. Sumaya N. Hilliard. Jeffrey D. Gray. Patricia M. Rodriguez. Crystal E. Young. LaKembly D. Clark. Grace W. Naga, Lakita D. Hill, Jorge Pedrilla, Stacy L. Harris, Raina D. Moses, Nate T. Lee Cosson, Tiffany L. Carrington, Donna L. Wilson, Brian D. Summers, Sheena D. Hall, Tiffany D. Hayes, Makita G. Williams, Crystal D. Davis, Lakinia S. Alexander, Alana S. Pinkney, Deidre D. Patlo, Ashley Royer, Vincent Quarles, Amelia L. Massey, Ramad J. Bass, Courtney S. Blue, Sheree L. Brooks, Diedrich, right? Diedrich C. Dees, Brandon A. Brown, Victor L. Curran, Curtis N. Hill, Christopher L. Griffin, Vincent Manning, Portia N. Holmes, Alexis M. Smith, Turupe Omakaya, Shed C. Hargrove, Bernetta L. Taylor, Tamala L. Dosher, Thomas R. Fowler Jr., Sean R. Words, Matthew W. Mayer, Terrell O. Burlett, David Smith, Kimberly A. Satterwhite, Chanel L. Haskins, Alicia N. Moore, Chantrell D. Lewis, Takura M. Muship, Jessica M. Perry, Terrence D. Franklin, Sharon D. Fox, Cherise S. Mitchell, Stephen M. Easley, Emmanuel Joyner, Brian D. Knight, Dalian L. Owens, Brandon M. Weeks, Dana E. Haith, Octavius D. Woods, Michelle N. Mitchell, Merv A. Higgins, Diana L. Yancey, Alicia S. Battle, Gran M. Lewis, Joseph L. Gordon, Jeremy D. Tanner, Brandon J. Livingston, Aaron L. Owens, Adam C. Jackson, Michael A. Glasgow, Jonathan D. Robinson, Brandy R. Gent, Sarah B. Coyley. Thank you.
Will the graduates from the business school please be seated?
Okay, we're almost done. The next teachers, future teachers, our newest teachers, candidates who will be receiving the Bachelor of Arts in elementary and middle grades have moved to the podium. Dr. Sharon Spencer will be calling the names.
Beverly L. Ford. Karen L. Artis. Crystal L. Forte. Lisa R. Richardson. Sophia Maleka Dillahunt. William Anthony Whitaker. Tony A. Bullock. Delicia T. Oates. Marion J. Wilkins. Rebecca P. Maupin. Laurentia W. Butler. Susan A. Simmons. Hanifa A. Siddick. Stephen Robert Schofield. Shakir N. Brooks.
The next teacher's chancellor. Thank you. You may be seated. Congratulations. You may be seated. Right here. The alumni. All graduates who have received your first degree, please stand. All graduates who have received the first degree, please stand. Would all graduates who have received the first academic degree at this exercise symbolize this recognition by turning your tassel from the right to the left? Congratulations. Please be seated.
Before we conduct the alumni induction ceremony, I want to recognize Professor Archie DeBella, outgoing president of the Faculty Senate, who is here on the dais. Professor DeBella. And now Mr. Richard Smith, the newly elected president of the National Alumni Association, will come forward and conduct the induction ceremony for the 2006 graduates.
Good morning.
Chancellor Ammons, ladies and gentlemen, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the National Alumni Association, Inc. of North Carolina Central University, I proudly invite you to membership in the association with all the rights, privileges, and responsibility thereunto pertaining. The Pledge of Allegiance for your induction into the National Association is found on next to the last page of your program. Please stand and pledge with me. I would ask that all alumni present in the stadium please stand with us also and renew your pledge as well. And if you would, repeat after me. I hereby solemnly pledge unbroken allegiance to my alma mater in appreciation for the opportunities for development afforded me as a student at North Carolina Central University. I pledge active membership. I pledge active membership in the Alumni Association wherever I may be. Wherever I may be. Through association with fellow alumni, I shall ever endeavor to do my best to uphold the ideals and the traditions of my alma mater. I pledge as a citizen to exemplify the high ideals thus implied, seeking truth always, rendering positive service to community, state and nation, and so to live as ever to bring honor and respect to my alma mater. And before you take your seats, I'd like you to take note of the special package that was given to you by the members of the Office of Alumni Affairs and some of our alumni who are here today. We'd like you to take that small gift, that token of appreciation from the Alumni Association with you. Stay in touch with us wherever you go. We have an alumni chapter in any city or hamlet or village you may go to in the U.S. or around the world. So please stay in touch, come home and visit often, and please stay in touch with the alumni office so that we know how you're doing and we can stay in touch with you. Thank you, and you may be seated.
Thank you, Richard. To the class of 2006, we are all so very proud of you. You have been given the opportunity of a lifetime. Make the most of it. Go out and change the world. To the parents, families, and supporters of the graduating class, I must say that you have made the best investment that there is for your child or loved ones, a college education. Each of you in the graduating class has been given the tools to achieve an existence that neither my generation nor any that preceded it could have even remotely imagined as we began our life's work. Never forget that the class of 2006 has the ability to shape history. Your success in life and the success of our country is going to depend on the integrity and strength of character that you and your classmates will continue to develop and demonstrate over the years. Perhaps the greatest lesson you have learned at NCCU is the importance of truth and service. The search for truth is always a noble path, and there is no higher calling than to give of yourself for your fellow man. So as you leave here with your wings and diploma, and as a graduate of the first public liberal arts institution for African Americans, the attitude that you take with you concerning your alma mater will determine to a large extent the quality of life that you will share within and outside your profession. So regardless of the minor difficulties which you may have shared as a student, learn to increasingly develop a deep-seated love for your alma mater. For indeed, you can never escape its impact. Wherever you go and to whatever heights you may rise, the mark of NCCU will be indelibly imprinted upon you. Always remember as well that you did not arrive at this high water mark in your life alone, and that no man is an island unto himself. Rather, you are where you are today because of the love and sacrifice of parents, guardians, spouses, who gave you the moral and financial support necessary to complete your degrees. You are where you are because of competent and dedicated faculty who guided you through classroom and laboratory activities that brought you to this point in your life. You're also indebted to an aggressive administration at NCCU which consistently fought for fiscal and physical resources to provide for you a quality education. Yes, NCCU is your academic family, and I implore each of you to express your love for your academic family. Now I can see you asking, how can I do this? Well, let me tell you. First, you do so by uplifting the image as you perform quality service in your workplace or as you speak about the university in both public and private places. Secondly, you do so by encouraging others, your sisters, brothers, cousins, and friends, to enroll at NCCU and follow the path that brought you to this point. And then thirdly, you do so by joining the Alumni Association, by paying your dues, and by making periodic contributions to the university. And then you do so merely by being a proud eagle, whose demeanor will always say, an eagle is no common, ordinary barnyard fowl. So to the class of 2006, I offer you all of my congratulations and wish you success in your chosen careers. And remember, let's go out, strive for greatness, and change the world. Congratulations.
Let us bow our heads for our benediction. May the grace of God continue to go with us and keep us. May the peace that passeth all understanding continue to follow us. And may the love from our Creator continue to abide within us forever and ever. Amen.
Someone has turned some keys from ladies' room. If you see me, identify yourself or see campus security, we'll return them to you. Chancellor Ammons, with your permission, I declare our 107th Commencement exercises closed. The recessional. you.